In today's video, I'm gonna teach you how to buy stocks on Robinhood. If you guys are not using Robinhood and using another brokerage, everything is gonna be relatively the same. It's just gonna look a little bit different, all right? So on Robinhood, this is what my Robinhood portfolio looks like, and I'll kind of go over every little thing. So if you're just starting out, this is gonna be for beginners. And if you are kind of experienced a little bit, I might even give you guys some special nuggets of information that might be useful for you. So just watch the video and find out, okay? So my portfolio right now is sitting at $89,000. So I kind of know how to buy stock, okay? I'm at least an expert at buying a stock. So investing, that's how much I have invested in the stock market. That's all of my stocks combined, put together. This is how much they're worth. And below that, we can see the performance of my stock, right? On the day, my performance is up. Whenever the stock market's up or whenever your portfolio is up, it's gonna be green. And if you're making a loss on your portfolio, it's gonna be red. Hopefully your portfolio is green. Some days it's gonna be red, all right? Everybody in the stock market loses money every once in a while, okay? You're never just gonna be green all the time, all right? I just want you guys to be clear. Even I lose money in the stock market sometimes. So on the day, I'm up 800. On the week, I'm up 6,000. And you can see the exact dollar amount that I'm up, and you can see a percentage. This is a percentage of my portfolio. We're gonna go into 1 month, 3 month, 1 year, and then all time. This is all since I first started investing until now. This is how my graph looked like. And you can just scroll through and see exactly how much money I made. I made a total of almost $23,000, almost 35% gain on the portfolio. So what that means is I invested myself around $65,000, and with that money that I invested, it created 35% gains on that, almost $23,000. That's what it means. So below that is buying power. This is how much money you have in your account to buy stocks with. Moving down, you can see like I have 8 notifications here. This is basically how all the news surrounding all of the stocks in my portfolio and on my wish list. So now we're gonna skip options and we're gonna get right into the stocks, and we're gonna go into a stock that everybody knows, okay? We're gonna go into Apple. Apple stock, the ticker symbol is AAPL. So in the stock market, they like to shorten the company's name because there's a lot of companies that are like long names, and it's really complicated. You can't just fill it out. They give you a ticker symbol. It's gonna be between 4 letters. And Apple is the company. The market price is $128. So that is right now how much the price of Apple is between all the people that's trying to sell it and all the people that's trying to buy it. These two have to come into an agreement to what they want to buy Apple at, and that is the market price. It's very similar to like going to a supermarket. There's gonna be market price for an apple, a banana, and so forth, so on. You can see the red number here. That's how much Apple is down on the day. Down is red. It's down $3. It's down 2.4%. And again, we have a chart here, but it looks a little bit different than in the beginning. In the beginning, it's just a line chart. This is called a Japanese candlestick pattern. And if we click that button all the way on the right side next to the 5Y, you can see it just transforms it. This is also a great way to understand the prices of a stock and how they perform throughout the day, just at a glance. So I'll go over this in another video. This is not really that necessary to learn in today's video. All right, so we're gonna go into the trade button, and this is where all the magic happens. You wanna buy a stock, you wanna buy good quality companies. You're not buying some shitty company like a penny stock that's like only two cents, all right? Penny stocks investing does not work. So there's a few different ways to buy a stock, okay? So if we go all the way to the top and it says shares, all right? You're gonna buy 1 share of Apple. You can buy 1 share, or you can even buy like 1.5. You can buy a fraction of a share like that as well, all right? But let's make it simple. You just wanna buy 1 share of Apple, and you wanna buy Apple at the market price. This is gonna be the fastest way to buy it. Whenever you buy it at market price, the price fluctuates a few dollars, especially if it's a company that's worth like $100 plus. So typically, I'm buying with a market price order. And all you would have to do after this is just review it, swipe up, and it's just gonna be executed right away, especially if you have enough money in your portfolio. If not, all right, if you don't wanna buy Apple at $129, you can actually change it into a limit order. All right, we're gonna not look at everything else. We're just gonna look at limit order. Let's say you don't have $129 to buy Apple, but you have $125 to buy Apple, and you think Apple is gonna actually drop down in price. From here, you just press continue, and you see set trading hours. Typically, I have it on extended hours, and then you have set time to force. So I usually leave it for the day. Sometimes if I really don't care and I just want the stock at whatever price, so I typically just leave it for the day. But if you want to just leave it up for the next 90 days, you can. But usually it's on the day. And so this is going to be a review of everything. Number of shares, 1 share. Limit price, $125. All right, so if you do a limit price, you have it set to that price, and your order will not be fulfilled until Apple drops down to $125. And then you just press review, swipe up. Swiping up, your order is received, and it should be placed. The order is placed. This does not mean that it is fulfilled. There's two different things going on here, all right? Your order is in the marketplace, and it's just like circulating there, waiting for someone to sell you a stock at $125. So you can either press done, and you're done. If we scroll down here, upcoming activity, you can see Apple limit buy. That's what you just performed. So now I'm gonna cancel this and show you some more tips on how to buy a stock. Right, so I just canceled it. We're gonna go out of here. We're gonna go into trade. We're gonna go into buy. We're gonna go into buying in dollars. This is called buying fractional shares. So I know a lot of you guys out there might not have $125 plus to invest, and you only have like maybe 10 or around that much, right? Let's say you have $50 just to make it easy. If you have $50 only and you want to buy Apple, just put in $50, review, and you can buy fractional shares. So with $50, you can buy 0.38744. It's gonna change because of the market price. And then you can just swipe up, and same thing as last time, your order is gonna be out there, and typically if you're gonna do fractional shares, it's gonna be instantaneous. Someone's just gonna send you the shares right away at market value. If you look at the order summary, you can see the numbers are changing little by little. That's the market price, $129.04. If you want to sell a stock, selling is very similar to buying. You're just doing everything in the opposite order. So let's say you want to sell 1 share. You go to sell 1 share, and I could sell at market price. It'll be gone right away, and it'll get sold right away. If I want to sell at a limit order, I can sell it at $125, which is probably a bad idea. $130, you would at least want to make some money off of your shares, right? So maybe you want to sell it at $1 above the market price. That's the way to go. And obviously, you can just do fractional selling as well, which is a great way to. So it's a great way to just sell everything if you want to just sell like $50 worth of your shares. All right, so now we're gonna go back into Apple example here, and we're gonna scroll further down. We're gonna look at your positions, all right? I have 20 shares of Apple, average cost $111.88. That's all the average of buying the average cost is basically exactly what it is. It's throughout the entire time that I was buying Apple, this is the average price. Some days I bought more expensive than $111. Some days I bought less expensive than $111. But if we take a look at the market value, we can find out market value by taking your shares, multiplying it by the market price. So 20 times $129 is going to be $2,579.40 up and down. Portfolio diversity. This is also important as well. I have 10 stocks in my portfolio, you guys might have less, you guys might have more. Apple is 3% of my entire portfolio. So this is also really important to keep an eye on, just in case you don't want to own too much of one company, all right? Sometimes you only want to own 10% of 10 companies, and if you want to keep it at like an equal diversity, that's one way to limit your risk instead of like being too overloaded with one company. So that's something to take into consideration. Today's return, I'm down on day $60. I'm not too worried about that. Total return, I'm up $342, which is 15% of the entire investment here. We're gonna skip the options. Reoccurring investments. This is something that I think everybody should do if you guys are a long-term investor and you want to do dollar cost averaging, all right? So let's say you want to buy 100 shares of Apple every single week. You don't care about it. You believe that Apple in the future is going to be worth a lot more weekly. You just do weekly buys, $100 every single week. That's how I actually started with the Robinhood challenge. If you go back and looked at one of Bruce Wang's first Robinhood challenge video, I invested $100 a week into my portfolio. But I did it a little bit different than this because they didn't have this function back then, like 2-3 years ago, and I was just buying it manually. But now that I know they have this, if I started again, I would probably just do it that way. Now that we're gonna jump into the stats here, we can see open. Open is basically whenever the market opens at 9:30, that's how the price was at open. That's what the price was at open. On the high end, the highest since it opened was 130. On the low end, it was at $128. So these are just giving you the numbers of the market price for when it was high and low and when it opened. 52 weeks high. So 52 weeks is the last 52 weeks, which is 1 year. The highest price that Apple was at in the last 52 weeks time frame, $138.79. 52 weeks low was $53.15. So I'm assuming that the 52 weeks low is roughly around the time that the pandemic happened. If you imagine you bought 20 shares at that time, you would have over 30% gains on your portfolio, even more than me. Volume is basically all the buying and selling that's happening, and average volume is how much there's average every single day. So just because today is a little bit lower, that's because we're filming at almost 4 o'clock, which is not, the whole day is not over yet, so they have a little bit more time. Market cap, $2.2 trillion. Apple is a $2.2 trillion company. To get market cap, you take the market price times how many shares, and that's gonna give you a market cap. So there's three types of companies, right? You have large cap, mid cap, and small cap, and each one has different, each one is a different size, each one has different characteristics. Apple is a large cap stock. PE ratio, profit per earnings per share ratio. This one's a little bit more complicated to explain. I'll explain in another video, but basically PE ratio, the higher that number is, the more expensive it is, and the lower the number is. 15 and lower, that's typically the good range. That means it might be undervalued, and it might be better to buy at that time. So Apple right now is at a 40. It's looking to be kind of on the overvalued side. Dividend yield is basically how much dividends Apple is paying. This is important for dividend investors to know, okay? You wanna know how much dividends a company is paying out. So this is the dividend yield. This is how to calculate it. And basically you take the dividend amount, you multiply it by how many dividends per year. Apple is 4 dividend payments per year. So you take that amount and you divide it by initial share price, and then you'll get your dividend yield. So some quick facts about dividend yield. It's gonna go up and down depending on the price of the stock. If the stock, let's say if Apple was at $100, the dividend yield is gonna be a lot higher. If Apple is at $50, the dividend yield is gonna be really crazy high. So dividend yield, so when you see a dividend yield, you know, this number is always gonna be changing depending on the market price, the market share of that stock. Going down here, we have news. Make sure you stay up on top of the news with your companies. I don't want you to buy companies like penny stocks, you know, day trading stocks like that. Make sure you spend at least like 5 minutes, 10 minutes per day reading up on the news of your company, because if you don't know what's going on, you don't know what your company's doing. 40 analyst rating. So this is also important, okay? Analyst ratings, there's a lot of professional companies, third-party companies that they hire across the market, and all these analysts come together and they give you 3 ratings: a buy rating, a hold rating, or a sell rating. And right now these analysts are saying that Apple is a buy, 58% saying buy, 33% saying hold, 10% saying sell. So just a quick glance at this, you would think, oh, Apple is a buy right now, I'm gonna go buy Apple. Just looking at this is better than just completely guessing if you should be buying a stock right now. So a lot of people always ask me, should I buy this stock? Should I buy this stock? Go into the profile of your company, look through all this information, and you'll have a better understanding if you should buy or not. If 40 analysts is gonna say that this company is a sell, are you gonna be buying that company? If 58% is saying that this company is a buy. Are you going to be selling that company? Like, come on, use your common sense here, okay? So bulls and bears. This is also important. In the markets, you're going to have bulls. Bulls are people that's pushing the price up. Bears is basically people saying the price is going to be going down. And these two forces, they're going to be pulling each other and pushing each other the entire time. Down here, we have the research report, the Robinhood Gold. So I have Robinhood Gold. I'm paying like $5 per month for it. And that's one way Robinhood makes money. So that's another question I always get a lot of. Going into the Morningstar report, Morningstar is a third-party analytical company that they rate every single stock, all the popular ones at least. And right now, Morningstar is saying Apple is a 2 out of 5 stars. So it is a bit on the expensive side. 1 star is expensive, 5 stars undervalued. 3 star is right in the middle, fair value. It's good. It's okay to buy it. It's okay not to buy it. It's not going to be too bad. Economic moat, fair value is $85. $85 is what they're saying is worth, and Apple is at $128. So think about that. Uncertainty is high, stewardship is standard. So if you read the full report, this is a full report. If you read this report, a lot of people that might be in your network, you might know more about Apple than they do, all right? Not a lot of people even go through all this, all right? But if you do, you'll understand what's going on in the company. You'll understand all the risk involved. They list everything down there. I would like to read this every time they do like a major update. And the last time they updated this was 4 days ago. So take a look at that. You'll understand the company, and you can make better decisions with all the new tools that you have in your belt. Earnings, also really important, all right? So every company comes out with earnings 4 times a year. Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, which is quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. And in these earning reports, they tell you exactly how much they thought they were gonna make, and they tell you how much did they make, earnings per share. So expected earnings per share over the last 4 quarters was in the shaded red, and the actual earnings per share is on top of that in the solid red. So over the last 4 quarters, Apple has beaten their expectations. So this section is basically explaining that the company has done better than expected on their earnings report, and typically that would drive up, and that's better for the company if they beat their expected earnings per share. If it was performed under their expected earnings per share, that's going to drive the price down. If they overperform, then that's going to drive the price up. Generally, all right? Going down here, related list, 100 most popular stocks. Go take a look at that. You're going to see Apple in there. People also own Microsoft. People that own people that own Apple will also own Microsoft, Tesla, Amazon. So these are just really popular stocks that a lot of investors own as well. Margin requirements, just skip that. History is basically going to go over all the times that you bought, sell. Whatever you did with a company is going to show up here. And about Apple. So typically I like to, when I'm looking at new companies, I just scroll all the way down and I look at this and I kind of understand the generic, broad, very basic understanding of Apple. CEO, you'll know who's running the companies. The CEO is Tim Cook, headquarters in California, founded in 1976. Employees, 147,000 employees. So we got a few minutes to go here, and I'm gonna wrap this up. We're gonna go down into the watch list. So whenever you have companies that you want to do research on, all right, you're not just watching YouTube and buying companies that YouTubers are telling you to buy. You're actually looking into the companies for yourself to see if it's a good investment, right? You put them on your watch list and you go through them one by one. So these are some of the companies that are on my watch list. I need to clean this out sometimes because there's a lot of companies on here that I do not want to be on the watch list anymore. With Robinhood, you can categorize everything into different lists. These are my growth stocks and these are my Bitcoin stocks. And that is how you use Robinhood. Every single other brokerage is basically gonna be the same. It's just gonna look a little bit different. So everything that I just ran by you today, just now with all the terminology, you're gonna be able to buy stocks on every single platform. If you guys are still having questions or concerns or something, whatever, let me know and I can make a video about it because I don't wanna keep answering the same questions over and over. I'm just gonna send you guys to a video that answers the question. So thank you guys for watching and I'll catch you guys in the Discord. If you're brand new and still haven't signed up for Patreon yet, go sign up now. There's a few slots left for you guys to join if you guys want to get in early. There's discounts on that. And I'll see you over there so we can talk about investing and making money in the stock market. Boom.